Hello everybody and welcome to another edition of Press the Action Button podcast here on digital-delirium.com. As always, I am your host, Joystick, and with me this week is D-Pad. Say hello to the people, D-Pad.
Does anybody else smell ham? Like, I didn't when I first walked into this room, but now I just got a whiff of it, and I just wondered.
Maybe it's the ham man.
But that's a story for another time. Anyway.
I don't see any cops in here. Also with us is Slacker Chan. Say hello, Slacker Chan.
If you're good at something, never do it for free. So where the fuck is my money?
Yeah.
No, seriously, I want paid for this. Oh wait, there's beer. Okay, that's payment enough.
Yeah, there is always beer. That counts as payment. And
No, there wasn't at the Otakon episode.
Well, I wasn't there, so I'll let
we
that
were
one
driving.
slide.
Driving! Aquaman! Oh!
I don't think the policemen we drove by who were at the construction site would have appreciated us having beer. By the way, you should introduce yourself, Gameface.
Hi, I'm Gameface. And stuff.
So, the Rapture and Apocalypse happened yesterday, apparently, and I would like to point out that was the most boring apocalypse that I personally have ever lived through.
And I would like to point out that you said that 17 times now this weekend.
Yeah, but I didn't say it on the podcast. I told you I was going to say it on the podcast.
Yeah,
there was absolutely nothing metal that happened. There was no nuclear holocaust. There were no zombies. There was no
Y2K
robot
was
uprising.
There's no zombots.
Yeah, nothing like that.
Actually, I realized something. It did happen, but only one person went up to heaven, and that was Randy Macho Man Savage. He was the only person who left.
Well, he died the day before, and may he rest in peace.
Randy Macho Man Savage, the guy who invented the video game cartridge.
Yeah, he died too. His
And
name
my
was,
computer.
what, Gary Larson?
Yeah, Gerald Larson, but they called him Jerry.
Gary Coleman.
Gary Coleman! No, well, he was black, but... What do you mean that's interesting? What are you saying, black people can't game?
You know the black guy in
you know,
Bubba
a black
Ho-
guy may have invented plasma, or blood types, or discovered, whatever.
A black man invented blood?
I think he. No, actually, I
That
think.
is so deep.
Actually, I think he knew.
Don't crack it yet.
Oh, that's
mine anyway.
No, actually, a black man discovered how to separate like plasma from blood.
Oh yeah, there's plenty of brilliant black scientists. I'm just saying, there's not a whole lot of brilliant. There's not a whole lot of black people in the video
Did
game
you know how he
industry.
died though? The guy who discovered that?
Leukemia?
I don't know.
No, because he got in an accident, in a car accident, and the hospital they brought him to refused to help him because it was a whites-only hospital.
Think of how much more good he could have done. I'm being
You
serious.
know, the guy who invented cartridges, you know what he looked like?
Black?
The black guy
Danny
in
Glover.
Bubba Hotep. He looked like the black guy in Bubba
He
Hotep.
looked like an
They
older
dyed
Danny
me
Glover.
this color. It's the perfect cover-up.
So, what are we drinking? Who wants to announce?
Oh, real quick, that
I
guy.
think three of
by
us
the way,
should announce it, actually.
There's some more black guy knowledge for you. The black guy from Bubba Hotep, I forget his name.
Hoba Bubtep?
Yeah, Bubba Hotep. That guy, I forget his name, but his last performance, he actually did a death scene where his character died in what was it? It was a Showtime show. The L Word. He did his own death scene in the L Word, and then 2 weeks afterwards, he died in his hotel room.
That sucks.
Yeah, and what was even creepier about it was his wife was on set when he did that scene, and she started crying because it was so realistic to her, and she was the one who found him 2 weeks later.
Man.
Okay, so crack beers, right?
What are we drinking? 3 people. We need 3 people to announce it this week.
Budweiser. I see what we
Oh, you were trying to go for the old frog thing.
Okay, we can do that too.
Equal dumb.
Bud.
Wise?
There we go.
Okay, wait. Okay, let's try it one more time, Alex. Bud?
Ah, dang it, I got it wrong. Okay, let's go.
Isn't that sound a thing of beauty? Even if it's kind of really average beer.
It doesn't matter what you're opening. It could be Mountain Dew. It's still a beautiful sound.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, we should
Is
save
it more beautiful when it's beer, though?
By the way, guys, we should save these tabs because I've decided. One of my friends mentioned
You're
about.
gonna fling them at your brother?
No, apparently, like, there's charities, like, whatever you can use tabs for.
Always.
But, like, you can, like, give tabs to hospitals for more time if you have cancer or whatever. So I realized I'm gonna start collecting the tabs.
You can buy lifetime with. Dang.
Yeah, so I'm gonna start collecting the tabs in case I or any of us ever get cancer. So that way we can.
By the a little bit of news.
Back to health.
A little bit of news here. We just got a word from Glitch. Apparently, he delivered a sandwich from. I'm sorry. What's his name again?
Chris Larios?
Chris Larios from Transmission Awesome.
If you've seen Kick-Ass, yeah, he was in that. He did the Channel Awesome News that was in the fedora reporting.
You know, he actually looked familiar, like I went to school with him or something.
Yeah, I think he just had that face. I felt like I knew him too.
Maybe it's just that face. Maybe we did know him. Maybe he lives in the
By
area.
the way, D-Pad, I talked to some guy at Galifty's today. Zach, something with an O.
Yep, the bigger guy.
Yeah, that's him.
Mhm.
Yeah, he asked me about the time we burned a Furby under the bridge.
Oh yeah, yeah, we did that.
That was awesome. That stuff.
You guys are first.
You burned a
Furbist.
Furby?
Furbist. Yeah, we set it on fire while it was still on.
Sweet.
So he's going, me, Kula, and then a capacitor exploded and ran away.
Oh, the music for this week is
Stuff.
Super Mario RPG. Awesome.
Super
the music for
RPG.
next week will be Super Mario RPG.
Dang, that
Awesome.
much.
Yeah, it's an hour 50 worth of music, so there's going to be some more stuff after the next week, whatever.
Stuff.
Well, yeah, D-pad. You should tell everyone about the new, like, awesome battery that was invented that will last forever.
Oh, that thing.
They have a functioning nano battery that they used
nattery.
raw nanos to form the mechanisms necessary to
Nanos, huh?
to get a battery to work. Yeah, nanodes.
Nah.
So basically, it doesn't
Down
lose
to a
its charge.
molecular level, it's structured perfectly to be a battery, essentially. So energy runs more freely to it. It has like 10 times as much output, and it's like a fourth as heavy, and it recharges faster.
So, like, you know how a normal battery, like, the first time you charge it up, it has 10,000 units worth of power. Next time you charge it full, it only has 9,999 and so forth.
Okay, so you can charge it and discharge it indefinitely.
Right, so
That's pretty cool.
It's in a sense, it's like
Because for a normal
I'd like to know what the hell a
something
nano
allows
is.
Oh,
leak
say that
out.
like a dictator.
Cool.
Does it have... Sir,
But
your
you-
rocket chair arrived, sir.
Does it have little beer holders on the armrests?
Yes, sir.
Cool.
What's even cooler about the battery than these new nano batteries are they charge even faster than normal batteries. So you could like recharge your car like overnight.
Yeah, that's what they're
Recharge your
planning
car
to
over. Oh, like for an
like
electric car. I
revolutionize.
got you.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
they think it's gonna revolutionize electric cars.
Cool.
But I'm in it for Game Boys.
I heard somewhere.
Yeah.
And cell phones.
Yeah.
I heard somewhere that like the electric cars from the 20s actually charged more efficiently than the ones we have today for some reason. And then like they did away with that technology for whatever reason.
Because there was less money in it.
Yeah, something like that.
Hey, that's why the Tucker got thrown out.
Yeah.
You know when we'll have solar power? When they find a way to charge us for it.
Well, it's kind of impractical to have. It's an economical.
I'm just
thing,
being bitter.
Yeah. I know.
Agreed. Anyway,
Greed sucks.
so what's the first topic?
You guys want to get to the first topic, huh?
We're kinda,
Let's get to the topic.
We're
We'll
gonna
do
get
that
to the first topic.
We're kind of losing BS.
Topic.
So.
Okay. The PlayStation Store comes back online on May 24th.
Yeah.
That's Tuesday.
Boring. Next topic.
I'm not done reading
go
it.
ahead.
When it does, PlayStation Network PS3 users will be able to download 2 games out of the following 5: Infamous, Wipeout HD, Little Big Planet, Super Stardust HD, and Dead Nation.
I've heard of one of those.
PlayStation.
You've heard of 2 of those.
You've heard of at least 2 of
Okay,
those.
2 of those.
The 2 that are probably
And you're
the most
probably
downloaded.
familiar with the Wipeout series at least. It's been around for at least 15 years.
You Wipeout like that show that's like MXC?
No.
Oh.
Wipeout is it's a lot like
Wipeout.
G-Force.
I knew you were gonna do that.
The movie about the hamsters?
No.
Hamtaro?
Way back on the
kinda like-
original Nintendo 64.
Like Wave Race?
No.
Wave
I remember Wave Race.
Yeah, that game sucked.
It's also similar to what is the Super Nintendo series that started on the Super Nintendo?
What kind of a game is this?
It's a racing game.
Okay, it's a racing game.
It's what was the one on the Super Nintendo where
Mario Kart?
you kind of floated and went really fast?
Wait,
F-Zero X. Or
Yeah, it's a
F-Zero.
lot like
Okay,
it's a lot like
F-Zero.
F-Zero.
I'm still not sure this is actually a topic yet. Did we finish?
I haven't finished reading it yet.
Okay.
Because PlayStation Portable owners will get 2 of the following games: Little Big Planet, Pursuit Force, Mod Nation Racers, and Killzone Liberation. If you already own all of these games, I guess you're kind of shit out of luck. But that being said, this is actually fairly generous of Sony to give away between 2 and 4 free games to every single person on the network, potentially.
Well, also, I think probably a lot of these games are giving away free is, probably actually to promote the new ones. I mean, Little Big Planet 2, I don't know if it came out yet, but I'm sure...
Yeah, Little Big Planet 2's out.
Okay.
It's awesome.
I'm sure that's probably going to help increase sales of the second one. And the same thing with
No doubt.
Infamous 2. Has that come out yet, Infamous 2?
No, Infamous 2 is not out yet. I
Wait.
think the demo is out.
Doesn't it come
Because
out...
I saw people playing it at the mall the other day.
No way. Tuning
Yeah.
fork and everything?
Yeah, I saw people playing it at the mall the other day because I knew it was Infamous at first because I saw him running along power lines, and then I saw him floating, flying like he does with the flying power.
Right. He can just.
Except he was
hover.
using fire. That's how I knew it was Infamous 2.
So is it just those 2, just lightning and fire? You have the choice between the 2?
Ice.
Too.
You have a choice between ice and fire.
Isn't the bad path fire and the good path is ice?
I don't know which path is which. But
I would say it's the other way around.
Yeah, purifying ice.
This
What?
is actually...
No. Hey, fire doesn't purify. It just, all it does is blacken.
Well, then what the hell does ice do?
Ice just postpones things.
Oh no!
Like
Wait.
Walt
Okay.
Disney.
If you look at the
Exactly.
first one, hold on. You look at the first one. When you went down the evil path, right? It was your power was in the sense, it was more widespread. You could hit more targets at once. It was more
Destructive.
chaotic.
It was more
yeah.
destructive.
But it wasn't as any single attack wasn't as powerful. Whereas the good path, you can more specifically hit one single target and not hurt others. By
You
I
also
got
get
you.
a bunch of miscellaneous power-ups, like you
Right.
recharge by grinding on power
Right.
cables.
But my point
Dead.
being though is the difference between the good and bad powers. But if you think about it towards in the sense of ice and fire, I could imagine fire being more chaotic and harder to control, harder to hurt only whoever your enemy is and not bystanders as opposed to ice. You know what I mean?
Maybe it's just a
No, it takes
different
time.
system altogether. Maybe there's good and evil, and then there's also the power spectrum. You can go between electricity to ice or electricity to fire. Maybe we know absolutely nothing about this. So
Oh, I don't know, mate.
You know what I think is kind of cool that they're doing with this is that they're giving you potential to download check out a lesser known game in Dead Nation. And I don't know how Dead Nation was received by critics. I know it looks kind of cool.
Wait, I have a question. Was there even really a question to this topic, or are we just talking about?
We're
the
just
fact that
talking
they
about-
did this?
The question is, can bread fly?
No, it cannot.
Dang.
Well, I don't know.
I am
If you
disappointed.
throw it hard enough, I think he can stay airborne pretty long. I don't know. Maybe.
Are you gonna
maybe
fling
if we
bread
take
into the
bread
sun?
and we squish it down, then we can mold it into wings. We can make a big glider and throw it
I'm
off
gonna
the top of
do
the
that.
house.
I'm gonna be the first person in history to make a bread glider and
We're
toast
the
it.
first podcast in history to record after the apocalypse.
That too. I have to poop like nobody's business.
Oh, we should celebrate. We should celebrate that we're survivors.
And that game face has to poop.
Still alive. Still alive.
I'm doing science, and I'm still alive.
I started playing the original Portal again today. It made my life miserable for like 3 hours.
What? What?
No, it didn't take. I got like halfway through it. I wasn't playing it for that long. But
Why did it make you miserable, though?
It's because I forgot how hard it was.
Oh.
I'm just playing. I thoroughly enjoyed that game the first time. I almost thoroughly enjoyed it this time, and I'm looking forward to finishing it up in the days that follow.
I honestly only got stuck on one part, and it wasn't the problem solving that was the issue. That was good for me. It's just
Timing.
yeah, it's those ones that where timing has to be perfect that are really a pain in my.
There's about 2 parts of that that are like that.
In the first one,
There's
yeah.
a couple of them where you have to do aerial stunts. You gotta
Yeah.
launch yourself
Those
with
are
one
tricky.
portal and then shoot another portal before you hit the ground.
And when you keep changing directions, that's infuriating.
It gets pretty exciting. Which
you
is,
don't know what's
I'm really
up and
hoping they get creative with that on
Now, if you
second
could
player.
jump. Now, if you only had one more axis control and you could jump and go into a nosedive, so instead of going through the portal and then flipping upside down after you shoot out of the other one, think of it that way.
Well, wait,
It'd be so much more convenient.
Portal.
Porter. I would say Porter.
Hey Porter,
Well,
what
if you think
time
about
did
it,
you say?
in a sense, Portal is already kind of like a 4-dimensional spatial game.
I
don't know, maybe not
yeah, in a sense,
But
but
I was thinking, what if
It's
they?
a science game.
science.
I know what.
Stuff.
I have an idea for
If-
Portal 3.
If I think of a 4-dimensional, if I had to name a 4-dimensional game, it would be Majora's Mask.
I was gonna say for the third one, they should add a fourth spatial dimension, so it's like Portal in a MC Escher painting.
And I'm going up the stairs, and I'm going down the stairs, and I'm going up the stairs, and I'm going down the stairs, and I'm going up the side
sideways
stairs.
stairs.
Classic.
Anyway,
I'm actually kind of cool. This is actually kind of cool for me, at least when I get a bigger memory card for my PlayStation Portable, because I used to have Killzone Liberation, and I liked that game quite a bit. It was actually a lot of fun, and I'm looking forward to being able to play that again at some point in the untold future.
you know, I actually had the chance once to steal Killzone 2 from work. I work at FedEx
It was a good
Ground,
game.
but I didn't really.
Yeah, Killzone 2 is a good game.
Everyone I've talked to said they hated it.
Most people
Like-
I've talked to said they hated the first one and liked the second one.
Wow. Most people I know basically they had a lot of expectations for it. They played it and they thought it was bad. And then Bad Company.
I thought it fixed every single problem the first Killzone had.
All I know is everyone who I knew who was looking forward to it and was pissed at it. As soon as Bad Company 2 came out, I never heard about Killzone 2 again.
Bad Company.
But in any
I
case,
can't
I
deny.
guess we should just move on to the next topic. I mean, I think we're pretty much.
Okay, the next topic is frog spit. What do you think of it?
I'm for it!
That's right.
It lubricates the tongue, you know. So
Hey Alex, are you on
grab
fire?
bugs out of the air.
I'm on fire!
I know. So there's a Walmart open by my house now.
Speak up, please.
There's a Walmart by my house now.
Let's go throw stuff at it.
And,
Yeah, let's go throw stuff. Fuck Walmart. I worked for those assholes. Fuck them.
You know, the entire time I've lived over there, I heard police sirens once, and since the Walmart has opened, like less than a week ago, I've heard police sirens 3 times now. Yeah.
More people over there later.
Okay, you guys.
Yeah, most stores normally don't attract that much bad attention, though.
Bad Company.
You guys want to talk about something Microsoft did that's stupid? Because we
No,
talked about
but
a lot
let's do
about
it anyways.
something happened to Sony that sucks.
Yeah.
Okay, Microsoft released a console update that enables support for up to 10 gig on their discs, which, woo, big increase. You got a whole nother gig out of that, Microsoft. The
How
ad
does one
supports.
spell another?
It adds supports. It adds PayPal for purchasing games online
Well, that's convenient.
and it turns the console off after an hour of inactivity. It may also make it so that your Xbox 360 will not read discs.
Wait.
Everybody give a golf clap to Microsoft for doing this.
Okay, wait. So, you're telling me originally you couldn't set your 360 to go off after an hour before this?
If you leave it inactive for an hour, it turns itself off.
Okay, I'm sorry, but like every piece of TV TV since like the 80s have had sleep timers. I mean, I'm sorry, but like, I don't know why wasn't that standard? I mean, you can set that for the PS3 easily. It just doesn't make sense why the 360 wouldn't have done that.
Because Microsoft. They just released an update for their system that is making them not read games.
Wait, what is the...
Are they all that smart?
Well,
Wait, what exactly is the nature of this? Why will it not read games? I don't get it.
We don't know.
to be
But-
fair, Sony did put out an update.
I have a
for
thing.
OS.
I have an update like this. There's actually an update similar to that for the PlayStation 3, which we have here. It's over there near my windowsill. It's a hammer. It'll make your PS3 not read games.
If you hit my PlayStation 3 with a hammer, I'm going to hurt you.
I'm not Microsoft.
Anyway, well, for the record, Sony did release one OS update that caused 5,000 of the older model PS3s to basically melt.
To go, I'm on fire!
Yeah, and this wasn't. I'm not talking about when they first came out and they had all those initial problems. This was like about a year ago. They put out a release, and what happened was all the older ones that basically the Blu-ray reader, the update told it to read at a faster pace, like this, to read it faster. And while the newer ones could handle that with the cooling system, the readers were newer. They didn't overheat as much, and the cooling system was better. Whereas that wasn't the case with the old ones. It caused them to basically melt.
The old ones are like, I'm sciencing as fast as I
And
can.
like 5,000 people signed a petition, all because theirs were ruined because of this. That Sony should replace theirs, even though they were no longer under warranty.
When are people going to learn that online petitions do jack shit?
I don't know if it was online or not, but regardless, I don't know. I don't necessarily think Sony should have replaced them all. I do think Sony should have taken some responsibility for it, but they're just like, nope, you signed the user agreement, we're not at fault.
Anytime someone asks me to sign an online petition, I don't care what the cause is. It could be the best cause in the world. I'm like, no. And you know why? Because it's not going to accomplish anything.
You want to accomplish something? Show up with all those angry people outside their office and disrupt
Take
their
the
business.
faulty
Protest.
machines and just dump them all in the street coming out of their corporate building,
Better
the parking
yet,
garage.
Take all the
Just a mountain
faulty
of them.
machines and put them in homemade mortar cannons and fire them at the office building.
Yeah,
I think that might get you arrested.
It might.
but
That's
it would
only
be
if they catch
freaking
you.
awesome.
Yes.
It would be the most awesome protest from awesome land ever to awesome.
But yeah. Anyway, so Microsoft. Well,
I just use awesome as
They're
a
dumb.
verb to describe itself.
but enough about that. I think people have gotten over that with Sony. But wow, what is Microsoft doing with themselves? Seriously, I don't know.
I don't know.
Coming out with new operating systems that we don't need.
Basically,
They do that a lot. They've been doing that a lot.
Screw that, you guys. Microsoft Bob.
So wait, what's the difference between XP and what was it?
Vista?
Vista
Oh,
and
what
it
game?
failed.
Oh, yeah,
now
Vista,
and
that's
now
it.
there's 7.
So what's the
7 was them
fails.
admitting
what's-
Vista sucked.
I like how so what's the difference between XP and Vista? We changed the name.
The
Like,
only
seriously?
reason I got Vista, or the only reason I got 7 instead of XP is because 7 supports more memory. That's the only reason. Otherwise, I would have stuck with XP.
I
Yeah,
know.
that's the only reason I want to get
ticks me
7
off.
at some point.
Change it.
It
See,
took me like almost a week to get at Windows 7 the way I wanted it, because every 5 minutes it was like, upgrade stuff. Do you want to restart now or later? I was like, I don't want to restart.
Yeah, that's a update reminder that you have to turn off, and Windows XP had that as well. It was annoying as piss back then. It's annoying as piss
Thing
now.
baked already. I've had it for a month. Now I had to reinstall Windows on it, and now I have no access to my data drive, which has everything and its brother on there, including all my super hard games, Project Toho 6, and I Want to Be the Guy, on which I got halfway through the second level.
This is why.
Screw that.
how many levels are there?
I think there are 4.
This is why, if you can afford
there more?
it, keep an external hard drive that has backup.
Well, no, my data drive was my external,
Oh.
and then I put it inside, and I have my operating system on a solid state hard drive, and that's the only thing I installed anything to. But the computer just doesn't freaking. I mean, I could take the external out, you know,
Right.
and because I still have the housing to make it an external,
Right.
and probably access it that way. But I don't want to do it like that because I want to have onboard storage. Eventually, I'm going to replace it with some RAID and stuff, like triple drive, RAID 5.
You don't think it was a virus, do you?
It could have been.
Or could it maybe have just been 7 failed for whatever reason?
Said it was a boot sector thing, which I don't think it was Windows 7's fault, but it could have been a virus.
Well, you know what you really probably need is what you need is Linux, but unfortunately they're not around anymore because nobody bought any.
Yeah, well, too bad Linux isn't around anymore because it died out because nobody
bought
one.
Oh my gosh! I could not
Somebody
believe
said
it
that
when
on a
I read
forum.
that. I could not believe that when I read that.
Bought one,
Like it's a computer. I bought a Linux today. What
Yeah.
did you do with your tax return?
Not
I
only,
bought a Linux today!
That's like saying you bought a science.
not
which
only
I did.
Is Linux a generic term to refer to a specific type of operating system, of which there are many.
No, it's not generic. It refers to any operating system built around the specific Linux kernel.
That's like when that
Yeah.
guy bought a video game demo and he went back and the booth was gone.
Oh
I booked it.
Big Wes of YouTube fame or whatever the heck that guy is from, I don't even know. He's talking to Kajitoku. Some of you might know who that is. So, I go to the stand, and I buy Wild Arms 2, and it was like $30, and I go back up to my room. Hey, look everybody, what I got. Wild Arms 2. And I open the box, and there's just this big thing across the disc that just says demo. And in the 5 minutes it took to show everybody, the booth was gone. I mean, the guy booked it. It was funny.
Oh, what the hell? I blasted down and I went up anyway.
Funny.
jetpack to fly. I'm okay.
I love when I bought a 3-disc set and I opened it up and the 3rd disc wasn't in there. And it's not like someone else
Fail.
like stole it out of there
It
somehow.
just didn't come
The
with it.
Yeah, the security tape and everything was on there. And by the time I went, and unfortunately the con had been closed for the night, by the time I went back there the next morning, that stand was gone. Most of them were still there. And it was a big name company too. I was like, what the hell?
We really got Tom Walsh when Fable first came out. What's his name on the show?
Teabag.
Teabag, right? He when that first came out, he had it reserved, and he went to buy it at the GameStop, and then took his case to the food court, and he was up getting food, and we took the CD out and hid it. And so when he sat back, he actually falled for this. We're always
Fell
out
for
to
this?
He fell for it. We're always out to get Tom, and he did not see this coming. I can't believe it. We're like, dude, we opened up the case and there's nothing in there. He's like, what? And he goes running back to the GameStop, freaking out. He's like, "There's no game in this game box!" And so the people behind the counter were stumped. The people did not know what to do about it. They were like, let me get my manager. I guarantee this has never happened before. The manager comes out all apologetic, like thinking he's gonna lose a permanent customer. He's like, "Oh, we replace it. They got a new game.
Oh, wow.
Which pretty much means we got a new game. Just minus
wow. So did you ever give it back to him?
I think we ran it over with a car.
Was it Fable 2, did you say?
No, the first one, years ago.
Now it's flat too. That was awful. We'll give you one of that.
We're going to do with the face and call them chips.
Okay, so a small number of PlayStation 3s and Xbox 360 users have been reporting overheating and freezing while playing the new game from Rockstar LA Noire. LA Noire says that it is unrelated to their video game. So, LA Noire says, Rockstar says, we don't know what's causing this. Everybody says they're playing our game when it happens, but we don't know what's causing this.
Does it have an online function?
I don't think so. I don't think it's an online game.
Because I don't think there's any way. No, pardon me. I don't think there's any way big name game company would be able to design a game and somehow program something in there that would cause a system to run differently that would cause it problems. You know what I mean? At least not without Sony or Microsoft realizing it.
Well, I mean, maybe the installation of the game.
I don't know.
First installation, maybe.
Well, it's just maybe just being too resource intensive.
But it doesn't make
Yeah,
sense.
that's the only thing I can think of. And there are better looking games on the PlayStation 3 than LA Noire.
Yeah.
No offense to LA Noire, it's a beautiful game, and the facial animations are absolutely stunning.
But what makes even less sense is the fact they're saying it's on both Xbox and PlayStation 3.
Yeah,
And that doesn't make sense because those are completely different programs.
yeah, which begs the question, what is causing this? I mean, does the game have some bugs in it that people are running into when it's freezing? Or what? That's a possibility.
You know what? I think maybe these people just haven't bought a new game for a while and they just install these games and it's like the last straw for their particular system maybe. Like installing it. It's just that last straw that broke the camel's back or whatever. And
I don't know if the systems are actually bricking. The story did not
Bricking?
say.
Didn't you say it was somewhere overheating?
Yeah, the story did say overheating, but it did not say that you cool it down and it continues to work. It didn't say anything about that. So I don't.
If I was Rockstar, I'd be like, look, we'll look into it, but as far as we're concerned, it should not be because of our game.
Yeah, I think that they're saying that it's not because of their game. And I think Sony said it's not because of the game either.
Lost the game.
Damn it, Alex.
I have to poo.
You know what?
Microsoft?
Everyone who is listening to this lost the game.
Did Microsoft say anything?
Microsoft has not issued a statement on this.
Of course.
They're probably still dealing with the fact that
Their
some
updates
people
suck.
can't even read the disc right now because of their latest update.
Yeah, so they haven't even had the problem with the game because they haven't been able to load it. So they'll get that taken care of, and then LA Noire will freaking brick it.
See, Sony doesn't need to worry about Microsoft fans hacking their stuff because Microsoft causes their own company to fail.
I wouldn't really say Microsoft is failing.
Well, the
that's like
system has
saying that
sold
Pepsi
really
is
well,
failing.
but I mean, the system has sold exceptionally well over the 6 years since its release. But it is quite possibly the most problematic console since the fucking original Nintendo. It's ridiculous how many problems the Xbox 360 has had and continues to have.
Especially considering the you have live games, you have live multiplayer games over the internet. That's an even bigger deal.
You know what Xbox Live fans were always saying when the PlayStation Network went down there? All of them were like, or not all of them, but some of them were like, yeah, you know why Xbox Live didn't get hacked because we paid for it. As if paying for it is going to stop hackers from hacking it.
Well, it might possibly, give them a bit higher budget in that category.
The only thing that paying for it does in this case is make them feel like they're more secure when they're actually not.
Yeah.
No, what? Paying for it? No, that gives them a higher budget to deal with on their online portion.
Wrong. Guess what? PlayStation Network currently has more funds to work with than Microsoft for the Xbox 360.
You want to know what is
And
doing
this is
better
free.
than both of them combined? Steam. And you get Steam for free.
I was gonna say Netflix, but because Netflix has a deal with
You can
both
get
of them.
Steam for free, but everything on Steam costs money.
Well, not everything. But if you,
They
you
have,
can download
they
games
have so
both on the
many more
PlayStation Network
demos
and the PlayStation.
available than PSN.
Man, look, all I know is this. I paid $300 for a game console, $60 for a game. I get home, I want to play the online multiplayer. Oh wait, no, I gotta pay $50 for even if it is a year's subscription. I gotta pay $50 more now to be able to play all the aspects of the game.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
And if it's an EA game, you might have to pay even more, especially if you buy it used.
Oh yeah, EA.
For EA, and you have to buy the online pass for about $10 to $15 to be able to play the game online. On top of the cost of, that's a one-time fee, but on top of the cost of the $50 for a year of Xbox Live service.
That reminds
Screw
me.
you, EA.
When they charged my account and overdrew my account for that Medal of Honor game I returned, that I said
Why
I
did they
didn't
overdraw your account?
What happened was, real quickly, I bought the game, or I pre-ordered the game for my brother as a birthday gift. And it came, with the online beta key. I gave it to him, like, hey, happy early birthday. Because the game will be coming out about the time of his birthday. So he played the online beta. He hated it. He's like, it's awful. He's like, dude, I appreciate the thought, but just get your money back. And so I contacted them, and, I said I'd like to cancel the pre-order. They were like, okay. They canceled it, and they closed down the beta for us. Cool, whatever. And I said, is that it? I emailed them. I'm like, is that it? I don't have to do anything else. She's like, that's it. Pre-order's canceled. You should see your money back in your account within a day. And it was. Come June, all of a sudden, I went to go to check my bank account. They charged me $100 and overdrew my account when I only had 80 in it. And I was pissed. And in the end, I didn't truly get a full refund because I had to pay they actually ended up sending the game to me. I had to pay $8 to return it back to them. And
Jesus Christ.
but yeah, not only that, I never got the money back for the overdraw charge,
That doesn't surprise
which is
me.
$35.
What happened?
And in the end, we're talking about when EA overdrew my account.
Yes.
And
EA
but
is evil. Activision is evil.
in the
EA,
end,
they're EA.
EA gave me an online coupon to use on their online store, even though I told them I would never shop on their online store again. They gave
You'd
me a
expect them to
$20 off gift card, but so I wasn't going to use it. But then I thought, oh well, my brother, he bought Bad Company too, and he used the VIP code under his PSN. So I thought I'd use it to basically get a free VIP code for Bad Company too. Turns out you can't do it that way. The only way you can get the VIP code is through the PlayStation Network, through your credit card number on the PlayStation Network. And you can't use that code over the PlayStation Network. Only on their online store, which you cannot buy a VIP code. I was pissed. I'm like, oh yeah, thank you for the money, the extra gift money, which doesn't even cover the full cost at which you cost me, and I can't even use it on actually all your products.
So I'm sorry, I missed this part because I was pooping corn. Why did they take money out of your account to begin with?
Because
They double charged you for something?
Yeah, because I pre-ordered something. I canceled the pre-order because Sean said he wasn't going to want it. It was a birthday present. So I canceled it. I asked her, is this everything? We're done. She's like, yeah, you should get your money back within a day. And I did. So that should have been the end of it. But then in June, they charged me for it and sent me the game. But we were talking about
EA's a bunch of idiots. Are you
Well,
surprised?
all the Microsoft users thought somehow that their network was safer because they pay for it.
Which is
from the
what's
hackers.
harder.
You know, I would like to see, just because they're saying that, I would like to see Anonymous hack the Microsoft network, just to show the Microsoft fans.
Well, it would give us something to talk about for 3 or 4 more weeks.
Best quote ever from Law and Order SVU. We need to check your badge. We take checking badges very seriously. How hard is it to get a badge? About $25.
Okay.
I thought it was funny. Anyway,
It'll be interesting to see where this LA Noire thing goes.
Lenore.
It'll be interesting to see how this turns out and what the problem winds up being. If it is LA Noire or if it's something else entirely.
Laner.
But, I mean, it's doing it to both consoles, and that's interesting, to say the least.
By the way, D-Pad, you know part of the reason why the PlayStation Network is currently doing so well?
Why is that?
Because what they call PlayStation Classics, what they started out with was they were selling Final Fantasy VII and Metal Gear Solid digitally over the PlayStation Network.
Yeah,
for $10
that's right.
each.
That's right.
Yeah.
I guess they don't really do that on the Xbox Live.
I don't know if
There are original Xbox games that you can download on Xbox Live, but there are far less of them than there are PlayStation 1 games.
Yeah.
I guess because there weren't that many classics, for any Microsoft console. Like, I mean, we all think of Halo,
Well,
but
And Fable.
if you also consider the fact if you don't have to,
Knights of the Old Republic 1
if
and
you
2.
don't have
Oh,
to pay for
Fable.
if you don't have to pay for your internet access, the network access, that's more money you have. Even if it's only one game a year, you have to spend on the game instead of paying for the network.
Okay, Sony is doing fairly well at their welcome back thing. They're giving away 30 days of their PlayStation Plus. They're giving away 30 days of Curiosity. They're giving away 2 games to every single user, and 4 games if you also own a PlayStation Portable. But not all is going perfectly smoothly in Sony land. So many people try...
Sonyland?
Yeah,
I
Sonyland.
must journey to this place.
Nah, dude, let's just go to Potland.
Yes, the never-ending search.
Or that English guy who seems to have been in every movie, but nobody bothers to look up what his name is, land.
Yes, that land too.
Okay, can I finish reading?
No!
So many users tried to log into the PlayStation Network all at one time that it overloaded, that it overworked, or they had a huge backlog of people trying to change their password. And it resulted in some people having to wait more than 24 hours just because there was so damn many of them that the computer got backed up trying to process all of them. So some people had to change their password more than once. Not that big of a deal, but you'd be surprised at the massive uproar that's caused
Sacker-chan, you have a
online.
very charming little pocketbook there.
that's like a Bilbo Baggins's pocketbook.
Yeah.
It was my grandfather's change pouch. He's
That's
dead
actually
now.
pretty cool. That actually reminds me of some things that have happened to a lot of online communities. They'll go down for a few days, even just a few
Well, it
days.
didn't go down. People couldn't get online.
No, I mean
because
they'll
they
go
couldn't
down
change
for. I'm sure you can think of a few. They go down for a few days, and the kind of people who are on it's the wind. And a lot of people who are on those websites have nothing better to do than to go on and check stuff. And
Well,
The
I mean,
huge uproars if DeviantArt ever goes down.
yeah,
for a little
DeviantArt.
bit,
Yeah,
for
it goes
example.
down. People don't know what to do. And when it comes back up, everybody is like, "We're back!" And they do that so loud that it crashes again.
well, also,
DeviantArt's just one example.
well, I mean, think about it. Think about if a store closes that's pretty popular. I mean, they have a normal flow of people coming in and out, right? But it closes for whatever reason. People keep walking by, seeing to see if it's open yet. And it's been closed for so long, for 2 weeks. All of a sudden, they open up the doors. People are just going to be like, "It's open again!" And they're all going to rush in, even say people who aren't there, like, every day.
Yeah, that's exactly
They're gonna
what's
be like,
happened in the
"Yay!"
PlayStation Network.
It's like, that whole NV grass is always greener. Like, you might go only online for an hour once every 3 days, and then it's down, and you miss that little time you have with it. You're like, well, when's it going to be back? And finally, like, oh, it's back. I got to get on. And, even the casual users are like rushing to get back on.
Yeah, people were freaking out over this. I mean, I saw people going, "Oh man, I cannot get onto Sony's network right now. It will not email me to notify me that my password has been changed, so I can't log in at all. Has Sony been hacked again?" No, they weren't hacked again.
I
They
just want to play
were
this
just
magical game.
I just want to play Mag. I just want to play Killzone 3 and Little Big Planet 2, please.
Have you guys ever seen like videos of people flipping out because their WoW accounts were hacked and they can't get on?
I saw a video of one guy flipping out because he couldn't play Modern or Call of Duty Black Ops on the PlayStation Network anymore.
Wow.
It was like this black guy. He was just holding up his PlayStation and like crying, actually crying.
Wow. Like,
He's like, "Please, Sony, please get it back up. I miss my Call of Duty."
I can understand if I can understand some people losing themselves in like the really good games, but Black Ops, really?
It's funny because he's black.
No, it's funny
Black
because
Ops
it's
is
sad.
the new, Call of Duty is the new Halo. It's what people freak out over
no,
now.
at least I'll give Halo that it may have been more of a simple, more of middle schoolish like shooter, but Halo still had a certain style to it. It still was a good game.
Halo
Well,
had
I mean,
a lot
hey,
of style. Halo was one of the few first-person shooters that I will play, and also the DC Sniper played Halo to practice on his sniping skills, so it wasn't just for middle
fan of
schoolers.
Halo. It always kind of bored me. It felt kind of repetitive.
But
There are some other shooters that I love, like Half-Life 2. I love Half-Life 2.
But the thing is, Call of Duty is supposed to be a modern warfare shooter, and
We're working on Modern Warfare 3 now.
right. But my point being is, it's supposed to be realistic warfare, whatever, in current day, whatever. It's supposed to be a shooter at heart, though. Even if you are using more tactical in real life weapons like grenades, smoke grenades, flashbang, whatever.
I'll give it this: that new map the new zombie map for Black Ops is fucking cool.
Well, the zombies is cool, but that's the only good part about the game.
Have you seen the new
Because-
zombie map?
Yes, but what?
Where you can play as Sarah Michelle Gellar or Danny Trejo.
Oh no, I
And you
haven't
get
seen
chased
that.
by a zombie, George Romero.
I didn't know the first two parts.
That's
but I knew
awesome,
about,
isn't it?
I knew
That
about
is
Zombie George.
awesome.
I knew about Zombie George.
Yeah, you can play as Danny Trejo.
That's
fucking
awesome.
badass.
But what I was saying about Call of Duty Black Ops 1, the story was dumb. It was the same mechanics from World at War, and then the online was just like full retard. It wasn't even about shooting anymore. Like, not to mention what was worse is the one thing that people have been trying to fix for years is camping. There's more camping in Call of Duty Black Ops than ever, than any game. And fuck campers.
The only reason you should ever camp is if you have a fucking sniper rifle. Then it's your job.
Right, but you know where you never see campers? Bad Company 2. You know what happens if you camp? You die. You can't camp. It's impossible. You know why? Everything's destructible. Like in real life.
I was playing a game of Mag the other day, and I played with a group of total morons. Okay, get this. As soon as the game starts, I get shot in the back by a teammate.
Moral.
I didn't get killed, but I got shot in the back from the moment the game started. I'm like, why do you start the game with the trigger button pulled, you idiot? You know you're going to start with a whole bunch of people
Maybe he was on
directly
the
in
floor
front
and
of
his
you.
cat was playing with it.
Maybe you thought it was Mario Kart.
And then, then at another point in this game, I had just spawned. I had just been killed, and I respawned inside. In Mag, they prevent spawn sniping by having the spawn points inside a building that you start off in, and then you run out of the building into the field. And someone on my own team had gassed the entrance to this building, so the only way you could get out of the spawning point building is by poisoning yourself.
Oh, it was poison gas?
Yeah, so I was like, what dumbass did this?
A troll. Dude, I'm sorry, but some days I'm sorry. It pisses me off too when people fuck around like that, but sometimes I can't blame them because I've had days where I'm just pissed off. I get on. Someone does one little thing on my team that's idiotic that I just go, fuck this. Like, it's not even like the whole team is being dumb or it's a bad game or anything. Something just sets me off, and I'll start either shooting teammates or purposely screwing them over like that. And not because I'm trying to be a jackass, but it's just a way to let off steam sometimes. The people who go around doing that all the time, though, are like the real jackasses. It's like, dude, play the game.
One last story from Sony. To catch up on the content from the past month, because you know there was about 4 days or whatever that they missed releasing downloadable content from the past month, Sony will update 2 times a week instead of the regular 1 until they are caught up on releasing downloadable content. And I think this is kind of cool. I didn't know what Sony was going to do to catch up on this, but 2 updates a week, getting new demos twice a week instead of once, that's kind of cool in my book. And they'll get caught up fairly quickly. They'll get caught up in like 2 weeks doing this. Why did you guys quit paying attention?
I was paying attention. I just don't have.
Alex, why did you quit paying attention?
Really
Because I just realized that I still had Swedish fish.
And I don't really know what to say to that. I mean, the only thing I can figure is like, what, they just didn't put it up all at once because if they did, it would just wreck everything.
It'd be a lot of work to put up 4 weeks of. I mean, it's going to be a lot of work just to put up 2 updates per week. Because they do it in cycles. They once a week they put up all the latest content every Tuesday, and the Xbox gets it all on Wednesday. Sony used to be on Thursday. They're like, no, fuck that. We want it first. So they started updating on Tuesday instead. I'm just waiting for it to Microsoft to be like, you know what? Fuck this. We're updating on Monday.
And then they keep doing this until they're back to the same day as they started.
So it'll be like, no, fuck this. We're updating on Sunday.
Sunday!
Until they're both just updating every day.
Yeah, it'll be daily updates.
You know, eventually it will be like that, though.
We only have 1 piece of content, but by God, we're updating today. Is that content ready yet? I don't care if it's just a costume pack for a game nobody's ever played.
Oh,
get us an update.
That reminds me. You know what kind of pisses me off? That
charging for costume packs?
No, I looked for the DLC, what DLCs there was for Super Street Fighter 4. You know what there is? Costumes. That's fine, but they're not even cheap. It's like for all, like if you want all of them, you gotta pay like $35.99. It's like buying the game over again, practically.
People will do it.
People will do it, but it's like, are you serious? It's just costumes.
Yeah, Capcom is really bad. Capcom sucks at pricing their content. I mean, you know, they have 2 upcoming characters for Marvel vs. Capcom 3, right? But the characters cost like $10, like I think it's $5 a character. That is ridiculous. $5 for 2, and we'll talk. But $5 a character? You're giving me like 60 characters for $60 already. And you're charging me $5 a character?
Capcom isn't evil, but one thing they are notorious for is being whores for money.
You're not paying attention.
Whores for money, yeah, I get that.
See, you're not paying attention.
I've been paying attention, Capcom.
Now you're
whores for money.
No, you're on your computer.
I'm
gonna punch your computer.
You are on your computer, sir.
The only thing I'm doing on my computer is moving the mouse every once in a while to ensure that it does not go to a screensaver, because we are using it to record the podcast, you boob.
So Capcom.
Yeah, they kind of.
That wasn't even the topic.
They kind of suck what they're doing. And they did the exact same thing when they released Resident Evil 5. In fact, the Resident Evil 5 downloadable content was on the disc. They announced it before they released the game, and then it was available day 1.
Resident Evil is a Capcom game?
Yeah.
How do I not know this?
Oh, yeah.
Resident Evil 5 had a multiplayer mode that was already on the disc.
Don't care.
But they
I played
charged
the
you
demo
for it.
and I won't play it.
But they charged you for it.
That is retarded.
It was like $10.
You know the one reason why I will not play 5?
Because it's not scary.
No, because they still haven't realized that that
Moving and shooting is
Yes!
is vital.
exactly, especially in a survival game. Like, what the hell? And
I
then-
still stick by it. It adds character to the game.
No, maybe if you're a real, like, a person who's never fired a gun before, I could see doing it.
Wait,
but
what's
you're
this?
supposed to, in Resident Evil, you cannot move while firing a gun. In any game.
For an apocalypse scenario, you want to save every bullet.
In any game involving a gun, you can move while shooting, but your accuracy decreases. Yes, in an apocalypse situation, you do want to save every bullet, but there's going to be situations where to survive, you need to both be moving and shooting the gun, no matter what. You can't be thinking about ahead if you're having trouble surviving at the moment. You need to get through the moment before you can survive in the future.
It's a feature they should have had in Resident Evil 4.
Right.
And I can let Resident Evil 4 slide because it did
it's
a
good
lot
game.
it did a lot of innovating, but they didn't innovate hardly anything.
Well, then
The only thing they added in Resident Evil 5 was co-op.
Well, then people try to say Dead Space was a ripoff of 4. I'm like,
Dead Space it's
No.
very similar to 4 in style, but I would not
Right.
call it a ripoff.
right. And it's like, you know what? Dead Space,
Homage, maybe.
you can walk and shoot. I'm not always walking and shooting in that game, but
Homage?
you can.
Maybe. Maybe I'd call it homage.
You mean an homage?
Yeah.
Homage!
Yeah,
You
homage.
better let me go do this!
Thank you for that.
But,
We love you, Tracy
well, not
Morgan.
to mention, in Resident Evil, you're supposed to be, like, expert, like, mercenaries or whatever, policemen, you know. One of the things you learn, first thing, any kind of law enforcement, or if you're in a job that involves using a gun, they take you to the range, they not only tell you how to use a weapon, how to aim, but part of the course is, they literally teach you how to fire while walking. Like, they literally have you doing, like, things like walking around in figure eights, from left to right, forward and back, while firing a handgun. Because that is a vital skill.
Yeah.
And you're not playing an ordinary person in these games.
And I realized it was Leon Kennedy's first day out, but sure, in Resident Evil 2, but surely he had some training prior to that. And by Resident Evil 4, he's like fucking Secret Service.
Oh,
You better believe Secret Service can walk and shoot at the same time.
Right. I mean, the first three, okay, you can let it go, because that was like, what?
PlayStation 1.
Yeah, all three of them are on PlayStation 1, right?
Yeah, they're all three are PlayStation.
Yeah.
PlayStation 1. There was a Dreamcast version of 3, but
Right.
it was basically a straight port. It was
Right.
ugly.
That would be like accusing Metal Gear Solid of not being realistic enough to say, the same way. But I mean, come on, we're up to what generation is the current system? 7th generation.
7th generation.
Yes,
Yeah, we're at
I was
the
going to
current
say 7th.
generation. I'm sorry. You can program how to walk and shoot a gun in a game.
I don't think they just forgot or didn't know how
No,
to
I don't
do
think
it
they
or anything.
forgot. I think they're just being dumb about it because it's Capcom.
Well,
They want to be like The Legend of Zelda, where no, we're not going to change. We'll change a few months, we'll tweak things, but no, we're not going to change. That ain't going to happen because
We're not making
because
our
this is
characters
what-
talk. That wouldn't be Zelda.
Oh God, I hate that so much. I hate that so much. I want voice acting in Zelda.
If there's,
I want
That
orchestrated.
wouldn't be Zelda.
I do really want to hear the voice of Link, but I think it's kind of, once again,
Don't-
it's something that they should
I'm-
admit.
I'm not
They
even
don't
gonna
even
do
have
it.
to give-
I'm not even gonna do
They don't
it.
even have to give Link a voice.
Why?
They
What?
could give everybody
What
else
do you
in the
hear
game
Link
a voice,
say?
though.
You know.
Excuse me, princess.
well, I think what they
I wasn't gonna
honestly
say
should
it.
do,
Too cliche.
what for Link though, if they're gonna give a voice to Link, they should have huge auditions for a long time for it, like open auditions for maybe a half a year from anyone who wants to send in sound files, whatever.
Jaleel White as
And towards
Link.
the end, have
Once they
and
do
towards
it,
the-
it's done.
and
That's
well,
forever
hold on.
going to be the voice of
Call
Link.
in open auditions to their studio, people they like, and I would say maybe 100 100 or 120 auditions. They put it online. They don't give the final decision to the fans out there, but they let the fans listen, vote for which ones they think is the best, and leave comments and why they think
Joan
it was the
Rivers
best.
is
And then-
Zelda.
Well, you know what Nintendo is going to do?
Fans' opinion to decide in the end who they think should be Link's voice.
You know what Nintendo is going to decide to do? They're going to take a look at Samus having a voice in Metroid Other M and say, see, we give our characters a voice and the fans backlash. Even though the fans were not backlashing against giving Samus a voice, the fans were backlashing against the fact that she never shut up in the game and she was whiny.
Well, was it at least a good voice actress, or did the voice
She was
actress-
kind of monotone.
D-pad, what
That's
was it
beside
that
the point.
What was it that you said at the dinner table tonight at our parents' house? They were suggesting that you do something, and you're like, well, no, I'm not going to do that because it's just time that I could be playing Metroid.
I gotta be honest. I always thought Samus would be like, even though she looks very feminine and pretty and everything, I would imagine though she would have a not more of a masculine voice, but more of a masculine like attitude about
Just
her.
like, you know what? No nonsense.
Yeah.
Like a no-nonsense chick.
Right.
Like,
exactly.
what's her face from Alien?
Ripley.
Ripley.
I was thinking like Leela from
Yeah.
Futurama.
Kinda.
But yeah, making her whiny. No, you cannot make Samus whiny. That's wrong.
That's like
She
Blade
had a fucking like
Kitten.
She had like a fucking emotional breakdown when she ran into Ridley. At this point in the story,
Well,
she
you would
fought
too
Ridley
if
like
you
4 times and kicked his ass like 4 times.
Wait, did she ever have an emotional breakdown in any of the other games?
No.
I didn't think so.
Well, you can in the original, but it's hard to tell what she's doing because it's 8-bit.
Freaking. Do you remember that review for that awful game Blade Kitten?
Yeah, I do.
You think it's gonna be like this Neko girl, ninja kind of a platformer, and it turns out you're in like space or something, and you're
It turns out it's like this girl that's like, oh my god, shopping!
yeah, and like all the other characters are female, and like they bicker like girls passing notes back and forth in like middle school. And the guy who's reviewing it said, besides, she's like totally platforming.
Yeah, that was Derek from Classic Game.
Oh yeah, that guy. It was funny. It was punny.
How far are we into this, by the
We're
way?
a minute 2, so we should go ahead and wrap it up.
An hour too.
I was like worried
hour
that
or
we
two,
haven't
sorry.
been going that long and it was only a short one.
No, we can go ahead and wrap it up though if you want.
Wrap it up!
Anybody have any final thoughts on anything?
We talked a lot about Sony and Microsoft specifically and their networks this time.
Let's talk about Nintendo for a second.
I don't really.
We've been talking about Nintendo for a little while.
Oh yeah.
Does anyone else think
I
that?
was eating Swedish fish when we were talking about that.
Well, I just had another thought about Samus. Did anyone else think that Nova, the ghost from StarCraft, was a direct ripoff of Samus?
She did look like
She looks almost exactly like her.
That game though.
Well, she is in StarCraft too, but the thing is, honestly, if they were going to give a voice to Samus and give her more of a personality, I would imagine they would have went along the lines of what they did with Nova in StarCraft 2. Like Alex said, no nonsense, there to get the job done and do what she's got to do, not...
Yeah, she can have emotions, but she's not. I always
But
imagine
whiny
her as
is
something
not-
like a female Solid Snake.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah, basically. Which, sadly enough, is why a lot of people...
Like
a lot of people...
Meryl in Metal Gear Solid 4 or something.
Meryl's kind of a bitch and a whiny one at that.
Not in 4 she wasn't.
Well, in 4 she was awkward, but
Okay, how about Sniper Wolf?
yeah, Sniper Wolf. Well,
Sniper Wolf was cool.
I was gonna say though, have you noticed a lot of fans like pair Solid Snake and Samus together, and it's like, no, they're not even the same universe. What?
Snolid Snamus.
Yeah.
Wow, what
Man,
would
they
their...
have some badass kids though.
Yeah,
they would.
their kids would be like Slagathor and Destrucity.
They have the most badass kids ever.
Their kids' names would be like Rugby and Superfly.
Their kid would be like if Godzilla was a cyborg.
So their kid would be like Mecha Godzilla?
They would have a kid named Gun.
No.
Roll!
Gun. Blood gun.
No, blood
You have to
and
make-
gun. No, blood and gun and blood gun. Those would be their 3 kids. Blood gun would be BG for short.
Blood Gun would be their middle name.
It would be Meteor Snake. I don't know. That was. But anyway. Yeah, those are my fun ones.
Yeah, let's
Why
wrap
are you
it up.
calling me Snack? That's what your name tag says. This is supposed to say Snake. Anyway,
Disco Stew.
doesn't like to advertise.
It doesn't say Disco Stud, it says Disco Stew. Oh, yeah, I ran out of letters.
My name is Brooke. B-R-O-O-K. It's a simple name. Why does this say Bork?
You remember Bart looking for Bart license
Bort.
plates, and he only
Bort
found
license
Bort?
plates.
Bort. We're
Okay.
out of
Bort.
Bort.
Who names their
name.
child Bort? I'm sorry, did you say something to me? No, my child's name is also Bort. Attention, attention, we are running out of Bort name tags.
Okay, let's wrap this up. Okay, this has been another edition of Press the Action Button podcast here on digital-delirium.com. First ever post-Rapture podcast done in the bag. Historic event. Anyway, say goodbye, D-pad.
You just made a FedEx reference.
Happy survival of Rapture Day, everybody. I'm glad we make it. Glad we could do one more podcast before the ground broke beneath our feet.
Say goodbye, Slacker Champ. Snap into a Slim Jim!
Oh,
R.I.P. Macho Man
truth.
Randy Savage.
Too soon.
Yeah, we
Bless
didn't
him.
snap into a Slim Jim.
Oh, yeah,
We were gonna do it on the podcast. Then we
Yeah.
didn't.
Well, I entered in with, Randy Macho Man, so I thought I would exit with it too.
Yeah, okay.
Do you wanna go out and buy some Slim Jims and do this over?
No.
No, but we could go buy some Slim Jims and then snap into them and add that after the podcast.
Or we could do it
That's too superficial. No one will believe us anyway.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll have to remember to do it next week. Say goodbye, Game Face.
I'm just gonna leave you all with this thought for this week. Bye.
Muffin Button?
Muffin button. I didn't install a muffin button.
I fought a giant crab!
I was frozen today.
That's not very Paragon of you.
Renegade for life.
Okay, we will talk to you guys next week. This has been Joystick. He's gay face. This has been
least I'm not
Joystick,
gay,
and goodbye.